David here with Figboot on pens. Some pens can be described as everyday carry or knock around, and others can be likened to a fine piece of art. Today I have for you a pen from Taccia, which in my opinion can be definitely categorized as a piece of art. And that pen is called the Taccia Autumn's Brushes. What I'm going to do today is go over the parts and features of the Autumn's brushes, talk about what I care for and what I don't care for. I'll show some measurements, size comparisons, and provide a writing sample. This pen arrived with a music nib manufactured by Sailor, so that adds a bit more intrigue to this already fascinating pen. Taccia is based out of Los Angeles, California, and was founded back in 2003 by Xu Lin. Xu has a background in fashion, which is a skill set that I feel fits well with the fountain pen industry. After all, a pen, in essence, is a functional fashion accessory. Now, Taccia has two distinct verticals for their business. They have a few pens in the mid 100 range, one of which I have in my possession now, and I actually need to get to a review to sometime soon. And they also have some very high-end artistic pens. A while back, if you recall, I reviewed the Taccia's Winter's Breath, the pen with the mother of pearl and the crushed quail's egg. That pen was spectacular. I really thought about picking one of those up for myself. The Autumn's brushes arrived in this box, and it slides off to reveal this nice wooden box with the Taccia logo engraved in the top. Then inside, we have some marketing for some of Taccia's pens. Here's that Winter's Breath right there. I better stop looking at that one, or else I'm going to end up owning it. There's a little warranty card. Then there were 5 black ink cartridges. And then we have the pen, which sits in this nice little bed of felt-like material. And this is a Taccia branded kimono sleeve. I like these sleeves a lot. I own one of these myself. I have a Danny Trio that I keep in here. I really like this sleeve. The lining is very soft, and it does a very good job of protecting the pen. The rest of the material is thick enough that you feel it's going to adequately protect whatever pen you put in here. And speaking of a pen, here it is, the Taccia Autumn's brushes. This pen is made from handcrafted ebonite with a coating of over 40 layers of urushi lacquer. The pen incorporates classic Raiden maquillage techniques using mother of pearl and gold powder to create a unique look that I hadn't seen before. These are time-intensive processes which really result in this pen taking at least 4 months to create. So let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Starting with the end of the cap, I really like this gold dust pattern. It has a lot of depth to it, and it really reminds me of like a crunchy layer of fall leaves on the ground. The cap is straight, and it's all one piece. It has a rounded clip, which has a slight hourglass shape to it. Now, this is a rather long pen. When I do put this pen in a breast pocket, the clip isn't quite long enough to be functional. You have to kind of angle it in there slightly in your pocket in order to utilize the clip. So, just in my opinion, it'd be nice if the clip was like a 1/4 inch longer. But admittedly, that's kind of minor. The gold and the brown transition into black, and the transition is highlighted by these mother of pearl parallelograms. The brilliance of the mother of pearl is really apparent when the light catches it just right. It's like a bunch of individual rainbows on the pen. I like it a lot. I also like that the mother of pearl is more on the subtle side on this pen. It's kind of thin slices rather than large chunks, and it's not overdone. And these lines really help create an impression of movement, kind of like the leaves falling onto the ground. There is a rounded step down to the barrel. Like the cap, the barrel is straight, and the black continues until the mother of pearl and the golden brown pattern starts up again, all the way down to the end of the barrel. And then on the end there, the number of this limited edition is hand painted. This one here is number 37, and this is a limited edition of 50. I like that the numbers here are hand painted. They are not perfect, which helps remind me that this pen was created by a craftsman rather than machines. This nib twists off to reveal this very nice 14 karat gold nib. Taccia's nibs are made by Sailor, and the MS on the side of this nib indicates that this is a music nib. Now, Sailor's music nibs are a bit unique. Most music nibs have 3 tines with 2 slits on the nibs, but Sailor's only has 1. If you'd actually care to learn a little bit more about music nibs, make sure to check out the Music Nib Spectacular video I have on my channel where I kind of compare 4 different kinds of music nibs, and you get to see a number of them in action. And then here's a look at the plastic feed. The section is flared at the end, and I like that the section has a slightly different pattern to the material than the rest of the pen. The inlaid mother of pearl pieces are smaller and kind of scattered about the section, and the gold dust has a varied pattern as well. The section is very smooth, which impresses me since the mother of pearl is really inlaid into here. So each of these pieces has the potential to create an uneven surface, which would have been very noticeable, especially on the section. So the craftsmanship here impresses me. The section transitions into the threads, which have a rather wide groove and are not sharp at all. I do find my grip resting on the threads, and I don't find it uncomfortable at all. The pen is not designed to post. The barrel is light and rather lengthy. Even if the cap did post, I'm not feeling that it would bode well for the balance of this pen. This is a cartridge converter pen, and one that utilizes Sailor's proprietary sizing system. The pen comes with a proprietary converter, but if you'd care to use cartridges other than the 5 which were provided, you'll want to make sure to pick up Sailor branded cartridges. As you have most likely deduced for yourself, the Taccia Autumn's Brushes is not an inexpensive pen. The pen retails for just over $1,500. I've said this before, but when you are in the market to purchase a pen in this price range, you are buying much more than a pen. You are purchasing a functional piece of art, a fashion accessory, if you will. With pens in this price range, the question is always, do I feel it's worth the price? And that can be a very subjective question. And in the case of the Autumn's Brushes, I actually feel that it is. I feel that it's very well crafted. It's unique. As you'll see in the writing sample, it performs outstanding. And I don't feel that it's a pen you need to baby. It's not just a showpiece, it's a very usable pen. I've written quite a lot with this pen, and I've had to fill the converter several times. Some high-end pens you're almost afraid to use because you just feel like that you don't want to hurt them in any way. But I don't feel the way about that. Feel that way about this pen. Not that I don't want to hurt it, but I feel that it's very usable. I've enjoyed writing with it a great deal, and the music nib is very cool as well. There are a number of retailers offering this pen. I don't want to single out any specific one with a link, but if you do a simple Google search for Taccia's Autumn Brushes, you'll easily find multiple purchasing options. So thanks go out again to Taccia for the loan of this pen for me to review. Sorry, no giveaway on this one. So now it's time for some measurements, size comparisons, and a writing sample. Here we go with some size comparisons for Taccia's Autumn's Brushes. Here it is with a Sailor King of Pen Ebonite. Then here it is with a Classic Pens LB5. And here it is with a coated bulk filler king size. And in regard to some other comparisons, here it is with a Pilot Custom 823. Here it is with a Pelican M805. And then finally, here it is with an Amos Ogiva Cocktail Blue Angel. So, here we have the Taccia Autumn's brushes. This is a 14 karat gold music nib. We'll call it MS. And the ink that I'm using here is a brand new ink from Taccia, and it is Taccia, and it's called Sora. This is what the bottle looks like. I like this bottle a lot, just because it's a nice wide top, and it's easy to fill in here. There's enough space in here. This is what the actual ink looks like. They have a number of colors. I'll have to do a review on them coming up, but I'm liking this Sora a lot. It's a little lighter than something like Lamy Pacific Blue, or even something like Visconti Turquoise. It's just a hue lighter and less shading to it, but still a nice solid color. So here we go with the rest of the writing sample. Am I going to fit? Just barely. This is a music nib, so without much effort whatsoever, you're going to find that the downstrokes are significantly wide, and the left and right strokes, the side strokes, are rather thin. You're not going to get a lot of line variation out of here. That's not what these nibs are made for. But it does have a decent amount of ink flow to it. In regard to reverse writing, I don't think reverse writing, well, it does work a little bit. It is rather smooth on reverse writing. And in regard to some fast writing, there's no issue whatsoever. The ink flow on this sailor-made nib is fantastic. So there you have the Taccia's Autumn brushes. Thanks again. Go out to Taccia for the loan of this beautiful, beautiful pen. I think that it's something that is stunning, but it also yet has a high amount of functionality, and something that I've really enjoyed taking a look at. And if you're market for a pen of this price range, then it's something I definitely feel you should check out. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.